When I threw him into piano, Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the neck.
Clive Davis knows exactly who I am. I know exactly who he is. The last time I went to a party at his house, my ex-husband was with me and the hit on my husband in front of me, yo.
He told me to take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say?
Could I be attracted to the person and not the gender? And I did find that I could be attracted to a man, while I still am very attracted to a woman.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it was called.
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping.
Clive Davis has owned the music industry for quite some time now. He was a musical genius, but now after all these years, he's known more for his sexual endeavors than the music he makes. Quite similar to him is Diddy, a legendary music producer now reduced to his sexual preferences and bizarre parties. Recent news has confirmed that both these men have a type: black men. Don't believe us? Let's look at all the jaw-dropping details that confirm the news. Clive Davis has found himself in quite a bit of controversy after revealing his sexuality. There are speculations that he works with and gets close to black women so that he can steal their boyfriends and husbands. This bizarre claim isn't as unfounded as it might seem at first sight. These allegations were made by Jaguar Wright, who knows Clive intimately. She's been to his parties and at one point been a really close friend as well. Jaguar was at one similar party when Clive did the unthinkable, started hitting on her husband right in front of her.
The last time I went to a party at his house, my ex-husband was with me and the hit on my husband in front of me, yo. Like he walks around here. On my husband.
Jaguar says Clive wants very badly to be in the place of black women, not because he wants a woman for himself, but because he has a type in men, black men. He gets close to these women so he can steal their men.
You know, it's his type. Everybody know Clive wants to be a black woman. What? That's why he always surrounds himself with black women.
Clive Davis has had quite an interesting personal life to complement his career height. Clive, known as the man with the golden ears, has married twice in his life. Both these marriages ended in divorce, but they did give him wonderful memories and beautiful children. Clive says he was never sexually repressed in his marriages with women. In fact, it didn't even occur to him then that he might be gay. For over 50 years, I never had sex with a male. I wasn't repressed. I had very good sexual relationships with women. Clive thought that he was completely straight throughout his marriages.
I was totally straight until through my second marriage. I've got 4 kids and grandkids.
But after his second marriage, he went through a lot of introspection and self-analysis and realized something.
I opened up myself after the failure of my second marriage, never having had anything with a man, to see, could I be attracted to the person and not the gender?
For him, the gender of his sexual partner doesn't matter at all. He could be attracted to anyone. As long as he was attracted to his partner, gender wasn't something that bothered him much.
And I did find that I could be attracted to a man, while I still am very attracted to a woman.
When he was pushed on the subject, Clive was very adamant that it is possible to be bisexual later in life. Not every older person has to be straight, gay, or lying. I'm not lying. Bisexuality exists. Clive was never ashamed of this newly found discovery about himself. In fact, he has accepted himself completely for his preferences, and he thinks everyone should do the same. I never felt shame. No, I felt puzzled. The subject of bisexuality really needs much more discussion. It's a status that does exist. When asked if he found it difficult to come out in the industry after being known as a straight man all his life, Clive said he wasn't bothered much by it. The subject of bisexuality is misunderstood. So just as I tried to state as a matter of fact, I don't feel it's a matter of pride. It's a matter of people learning more about life and not having stereotypical, rigid ideas. Clive revealed his first sexual encounter with a man was during the era of Studio 54 in the late 70s. When talking about the night that would set the course of his future romantic pursuits, he wrote, "On this night, after imbibing enough alcohol, I was open to responding to his sexual overtures. Being with women was just as fulfilling for Clive, but being with a man provided him much welcome relief. After his second divorce, he realized he quite liked being with men and decided to act on this lifestyle. He was in a monogamous relationship with a male doctor for 13 years from 1990 to 2004. Ever since then, he had been in a relationship with another man. There's another shocking twist to the story here, because Clive's rumored boyfriend is none other than the music industry star Sean Combs, aka Diddy. These rumors go all the way back to the start of Diddy's career, when he was trying to set him as his own label, however possible.
Diddy, known as Puff Daddy, known as Sean Combs. Allegedly in 1994, Sean Combs requested doing sexual favors for Clive Davis so that Bad Boy Records could be what it is.
Clive said his current partner attends industry events and travels with him, but he declined to reveal his identity in order to protect his privacy. And you know what artist is most frequently seen with Clive at social gatherings? That's right, Diddy. Clive has a preference for black men. That pretty much is evident from his closeness to Diddy over the years. But Diddy too seems to be really sexually attracted to black men. He doesn't even try to hide his romantic pursuits in parties and events. In one of his interviews, he was very comfortable calling the hosts daddy in a rather suggestive manner.
Where you put my bag? I like when you like this, daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag?
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping.
In another video he posted publicly to his Instagram account, he can be seen calling a black man daddy while he's in the pool shirtless.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work.
Not only is Diddy very comfortable acting seductive with black guys in public, he also doesn't care if people around him find out that he's sleeping with them. His former bodyguard, Gene Deal, recalls once finding Diddy in a room with an aspiring male rapper. Diddy didn't seem to bother at all that Gene had seen him with a guy.
When Ja Rule runs out the room, Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the naked.
Diddy also repeatedly hit on other black rappers in the hip-hop community. 50 Cent is one of the many people who were approached by Diddy. He has quite some stories to tell about Diddy hitting on him.
Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me to take me shopping. I looked at him like, what you just say? Everybody see, don't make like it's just me.
After 50 Cent, another rapper has admitted to Diddy's romantic pursuits. And this time, it's none other than Usher. Usher lived with Diddy when he was young, and his time at Diddy's house was weird to say the least. Usher and Diddy's relationship has turned quite some heads, and not just because they're both men. Usher stayed with Diddy at his residence when he was just a little kid, but Diddy wanted to introduce him to the world of hip-hop and the music industry. This came with some weird and unacceptable results. Usher got caught up in drugs, parties, and sex from the age of 14, right under Diddy's guidance. It was a very bizarre and disturbing video. Diddy accidentally revealed waking up next to Usher when he was a kid. Did he mean what we think he meant, or was it just a weird way to put it? We can only guess.
Right here from day one, we used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like, just back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes.
We hope that it was just an innocent thing, because the alternative is very alarming and disgusting. Diddy's also quite well known for holding wild and bizarre sex parties. He doesn't care about his persona or reputation at these parties and continues to make appearances with black men as couples. Keith D, a famous gangster who had many connections to the hip-hop community, was often invited to these weird parties, and he has many stories to tell. He says he witnessed Diddy and Tupac acting like a couple at the party.
Puff and Tupac was like a couple, it seemed like to me. It was just a lot of weird shit going on, you know what I'm saying?
Even if Diddy never wants to admit it publicly, he very clearly has a type, black men, and he isn't afraid to go out with them at parties and occasions. This has been quite a shock to most people, and he still continues to have relationships with women as well. Could it be that he also is bisexual, much like his rumored partner Clive? If that is so, Diddy has a very specific preference when it comes to men, black men, and even more specifically, black rappers. People are now also seeing the pattern. Clive Davis is very openly into black young men and preys on them when they're just starting out in the industry. Maybe it's becoming a pattern in the industry now. White older executives and music producers have sexual relationships with young black men trying to break into the industry. One person commented similar thoughts, saying, "Y'all think I'm playing? Old white men love young black men. If I met Clive Davis, don't you know all my loans would be paid?" Another wrote that Diddy was himself a victim of a similar situation with Clive. He did what he had to do to survive in the industry. If it meant having a relationship with Clive, then he was ready to do just that. Sean Diddy Combs was given his bad boy imprint by Arista's Clive Davis, who is openly gay. What Sean had to do for riches is not uncommon for successful black men in the entertainment and politics. All that glitters is not gold. Run your race. Let the next man run his. That's it for today, folks. Until next time, goodbye.